their protest. I'm trying to get Mr. Basalam to speak to him to give us an update.
What are you saying? What are you saying? What am I
Be the first to know Nsem-Pii TV.
His Excellency Dr. Alhaji Mahamudu Bawumia, former Vice President of the Republic of Ghana, one NPP amonyoku Emma, ane NPP amonyoku mpanifo bi chesebison for sabre kasa no omakopie mu ewo Eoco omo headquarters enrada ane beto dwa se Eoco omo ama Dennis Miracles Abuaje aid to Dr. Alhaji Mahamudu Bawumia sanso a communication team member of the New Patriotic Party. No corner as a contest said within the New Patriotic Party. No, a Kasama for Penyalis communication director, the Ama NPP Amunukun. Episode 4. I idea say Enra Ebeto just said bail condition net me, but that was 50 million Ghana cedi bail with 3 sureties, of whom 2 must be justified. This bail condition ebe to Ghana and the NPP amunoko mpeni for at say DNM talking about lawyers lawyer someone attaching Cassandra say bail condition they are not or share bail condition on the ban dia naturally are not the and no muntimi secure and no Emma ebuson for and ya start a dear chili sabri video about bontia sabri no His Excellency Dr. Alhaji Mahamudu Bawumia NPP mpeni for amako piemu ni na ne say omo eko pebio no e ama Miracles Dennis Abuaje bebo de rem na yetimi akɔhwe video na so say the nneoma esi etie ewo ho say the nneoma esi ekɔ the national youth organizer Salam Mustafa ono nso ewo ho bi ada top gurus of the NPP koka ebusanfo sabre no omo nyina no ewo ho no ma ni nyina na say the be ya Miracles Dennis Abuaje omo yebetimi release no ana say bill no omo betimi edi ama no na kire say at the end of the day ono nso no bibia atimi akoso yi atimi adiama nti sabe bebody erem na yetimi akohwe say na neomasitie has it been granted bail? That is question number 1. Say bail a conditional by no NPP amonyuko no mpani for matimi amiti up to the bail because as of now na last time attach and say we bail condition dey say you commercial da amon person be ma bail no ani ti na makotam sa bail kakraka we etim dey by 50 million Ghana cedi na kire say no odin and nti as of now and no muntimi miti by person body rem ne ko say aso ene dey anopai omatimi amiti bail no omu na so omuntimi amiti bail no na say ankasa na neoma esi ekọ ewo Eoco headquarters rem na yemfa enfa I don't know your take on this particular story. I don't know. Said you see who some people are giving mixed reactions. Some people saying I don't know for and you know Udi for the was me adwuma also have the feelings say NDC ya manabroso and some more arresting China arresting ya dos and you know say and so I don't know your take on this. My who adwen your comment section as new rem said the university Eoco sisi ano your fam nchiremu and famrel
coming up with flimsy accusations and arbitrary detention and arrest of members of our party. When the table turns, they should be worried. It is not something that we hope for this country. But with what is happening, NDC is leading the way that this kind of behavior, total disregard for the fundamental human rights of people, is something that has come to stay. And I'm afraid, and I am afraid for appointees of this government. The power is not transient. But when the table turns, I don't expect you, the same media, to come and accuse the NPP government. Because with what is happening, if all of you accept that it's something that is right, then when something is right, you continue with it. You don't change it. It is a shame to our democracy. It's a shame for the struggle that all of us have made, that our forefathers made to bring this country to this point. That the NDC government, under His Excellency John Mahama, want to take us backwards. But we know that with all that is happening, there is a hidden agenda, an attempt to divert attention from what the president is seeking to do by seeking for a third term as president. He doesn't want Ghanaians to talk about it. He doesn't want Ghanaians to comment about it. So therefore, let's throw in something that will divert attention. But Mr. President, it cannot be Mobutu Sese Seko of Ghana. It cannot be Idi Amin of Ghana. The constitution is clear. 2 terms is 2 terms. So it's not these antics that will take our mind from what the government wants to do by extending the tenure of the president. So if this is what they think they can do to divert attention, then they have failed. They have failed woefully. The New Patriotic Party is a strong party. We have men who are very resilient. They are men who will not be coerced by all these tactics of intimidation. And I can assure you that we shall bounce back in 2028. But when the tables turn, appointees of this government should be very worried. Thank you.
So do we know Nsem-Pii discussion? He got here no long ago, about an hour and 30 minutes ago. And so he's currently engaging investigators on the matter to ascertain the real facts and issues surrounding the arrest of Miracles. But primarily, he's here to secure the bail of Miracles Abuaje. We are hopeful that by close of day, he should be granted bail, because the law is clear that once law enforcement agencies arrest you, they have until 48 hours either to arraign you before a court of competent jurisdiction or to grant you bail. And like we all know, he was arrested on the evening of Saturday. And so the 48 hours elapsed by close of today. And so we are hopeful that by close of today, he should be granted bail. Yeah.
But does that not mean that he will get to go home?
Oh, it depends. If this government doesn't replay their book of granting unreasonable bail conditions, he should be able to go home this evening, because as at now, like you all know, he has not been charged yet. So as it stands now, he's still a suspect, like Eoco says in their statement. Eoco has not conclusively charged him with any specific offense. They are only alleging that he's been involved in certain practices, which we deny, categorically, because Eoco's statement in itself is not exhaustive. The statement in itself doesn't make meaning of anything, because they make the case that Miracles has been visiting Eoco several times, but that is also not true. The only time he visited Eoco was on 28 April 2026, after the current executive secretary for the IMCC sent Miracle a copy of an audit report, a forensic audit report, for his comment on the audit report, which he detailed out and explained categorically the concerns of the current executive secretary sometime in November 2025. Since then, they never got back to him. The executive secretary never got back to him until April 2026, 28 April 2026, when he was invited by Eoco regarding the matter. Even on that day when he came here, he didn't spend more than 10 minutes here, because the investigators were clear to him that they had not concluded their investigations yet. For us to hear that he's been arrested at the airport hours after announcing he's going to be the National Communications Director of the New Patriotic Party. And let us not isolate these issues from the fact that Miracles has been one of the most consistent voices against the government. He's been the government's loudest critic. And so when you put all the pieces of events surrounding the arrest together, you come to but one irresistible conclusion, that this arrest is a well-calculated political attempt to intimidate Miracles, to silence Miracles, to get him to keep quiet, to get him to shut up, because this is the same person who started the People's Forum, started advocacy for cocoa farmers, started the utility tariff advocate. And so the government is unhappy about the way he's putting them to their jobs.
But you would also agree that, having been made to comment on the forensic audit in November, invited in April, and we are told that last week fresh information received necessitated placing him on the stop order and then arresting him, as a natural flow of the investigation.
No, it's not a natural flow of investigation. It would have been a natural flow of investigation if the audit report was sent to him by Eoco. The audit report was sent to me by his predecessor. that is a successor. That is the current executive secretary for the IMCC. And like we all know in several administrative agencies, when you hand over to somebody and the person has some comments that he wants you to address, the person can write to you to address those concerns and give your comments to those matters. And so
but
that in itself is not an investigative work, because the IMCC does not have the legal power to investigate miracles. It is the law enforcement agencies that have the authority to investigate miracles, and the law enforcement agencies have so far not leveled anything against him to respond to.
But his April appearance was by invitation of Eoco.
Yes, it was by invitation of Eoco.
So essentially,
and when he came here, he wasn't asked to respond to anything. Like I'm telling you, when he came here, he only spent about 5 to 10 minutes here. He wasn't asked to respond to anything. And in that case, if the going investigation, why then do you arrest him in a manner that creates a spectacle out of the whole issue? What is the purpose for it? Is it to embarrass him? Is it to just intimidate him? Is it to put him in cuffs just to silence him? What is the whole purpose of creating a spectacle about this if Eoco claims that they are already investigating him? In any case, if there was a stop order, I don't think that there was a valid stop order anyway, because if there was a stop order, then immigration wouldn't have even allowed him to travel.
We are told that the stop order was after he traveled.
Absolutely,
and that's why when he returned, it triggered the process.
And so the purpose of the stop order was just to get him arrested at the airport and to create a spectacle out of it. But I feel embarrassed as a Ghanaian, because today we should be discussing the president's efforts to fight flood. The president's efforts with the National Sanitation Day. Here we are today, discussing the arrest of a civilian that could have been done in a more decorous manner. Let's not get it wrong. Nobody is saying that anybody is beyond arrest. But what we are saying is that the government should stop the act of painting people guilty even before they are sent to court. And that is exactly what the government is doing. Because you read the Eoco statement conclusively pronounced guilt on the part of Miracle, a constitutional and a legal framework, and that should stop.
Another suspect we are told, Gerard Appiah, the former accountant, he has begun paying some of them.
These are two separate matters. The matter involving the accountant is separate and distinct from the matter involving Miracle Sabuaje.
They are not of the same transaction.
They are not of the same transaction. They are not of the same matter. And in any case, they cannot be of the same issue, because then why then was he not arrested together with Gilbert, the accountant, and that Gilbert has started paying? In any case, let's even question why he has started paying. Was he arraigned in court? Did he plead guilty to any charges? Have you seen any charges against the accountant? I haven't seen any charges. These are separate matters. Like I'm telling you, the executive secretary wrote to Miracles for his comment, which he did. The executive secretary didn't get back to Miracles. Eoco invited him for a discussion. He came here, he didn't spend more than 5 minutes, and now he's been arrested, and there's a whole spectacle about it, just to silence him, just to keep him quiet, just to keep him in check. And so this arrest is nothing. And in any case, you see, let me add that if Eoco themselves are confident about the release they put out, why didn't anybody from Eoco sign it? Why didn't anybody from their office sign it? We saw in the case of the Water Regional Council of State member, Raymond Acha himself, the executive secretary himself, was the one signing all and issuing all the press statements. Why didn't anybody have the audacity and the temerity to sign the press statement? Because they themselves concede that the press statement, is a very useless one. It's a very useless press statement that they have released, because the press statement doesn't communicate anything. It's a lot of nothing that they have communicated. It's a lot of useless statements, and because they agree that it's a useless statement, that is why nobody was of enough, gravitas to sign the press statement. And so it's something that they just want to, as a panic reaction to the public backlash regarding this arrest.